Clark bustling away.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
If it wasn't clear yet, it is now. Caitlyn Clark is being hunted in the WNBA, and this game against the Connecticut Sun was the clearest proof yet. But you know the saying, he who laughs last, laughs the longest.
During the game.
All right. Here is Clark, splashing home a three from way downtown. Some words with the Connecticut bench.
And right from the jump, Connecticut's number 4 made her mission clear. Stick to Caitlyn like glue, no matter where she moved.
Tempo, and that's not just the 94 feet, that's their cadence in the quarter court as well.
Here is Clark from...
But with that came a lot of unnecessary contact and no whistles from the refs early on, setting the tone for a long, physical night.
Different team with 22 on the floor that time.
In the 7th minute, the refs finally gave her a break.
Cutting Caitlyn Clark defensively.
Clark runs into traffic and gets the foul call.
And not long after, Caitlyn shook off Jacy Sheldon and made them pay.
Clark launches and hits.
I wonder if Jacy Sheldon in her 4 years at Ohio State has nightmares when she's thinking about going against Clark.
Those nightmares came alive again tonight, and we're still haunted by our own.
Matched up plenty in the WNBA as well. Here's Clark rolling Boston.
At this point, someone needs to throw a missed layup counter on screen for her teammates, and maybe one for how many times Jacy Sheldon was up in her grill too.
Jacy Sheldon really trying to be disruptive and physical with Clark.
This led to an early breather for Caitlyn to conserve some energy, and when she checked back in later that quarter, it showed.
Here. Rivers is an impressive looking rookie out of NC State.
And when Boston converts, Caitlyn can find her all night, but easier said than done. She had a lot of trouble converting those passes, the looks were there, but the Suns' defense made every finish a war in the paint.
Here is Clark, who sees the double team, feeds inside. Boston couldn't finish.
And the refs were letting everything slide, but Caitlyn wasn't. She got into it with Sheldon a little, letting her know she wasn't backing down from the physical. But the real problem of the night were the refs. By swallowing their whistles, they turned the game into more of a brawl than basketball. However, it didn't take long for Caitlyn to answer the chaos the only way she knows how.
Sophie Cunningham suffered her ankle injury in that game, but in addition to that, she actually had part of her front tooth knocked out. She made contact with Jacy Sheldon as Caitlyn Clark knocks down the...
Pure basketball, and that bottled up frustration started turning into a mini run. You could just feel the shift. First, an instant inbound assist.
And keep in mind, the Fever had 17 as a team.
Then, one of those deep snipes we all know and love.
Perfecting her craft.
Retreating, firing and hitting.
So she can do that.
Already 3 for 3 from deep, but in transition, she wasn't selfish.
Oh, Clark just took it away. It's a 2-on-1. Clark, bounce pass, pretty find, and Mitchell won't miss from there.
A 6-point lead, and the Sun were back to their usual tricks. But so was Caitlyn. They were so scared of her passing, she faked them out and took the open lane herself.
Pass in, it's Clark right up the middle.
At one point, she even had Sheldon scrambling on the floor and nearly cashed in the coldest 3 of the night. Momentum was shifting, but with offensive calls piling up against the Fever, halftime came just in time to cool things down. Out of halftime, Caitlyn wasted no time, crossed up Sheldon, and dropped a perfect dime like she never took a break.
Clark behind the back, feed inside. 2 more for Howard.
And I guess Sheldon's ankles were feeling that one, because right after, she started getting real handsy again.
Felt like she was fouled there by Sheldon.
But no whistle. Meanwhile, on the other end, the Sun were handed one on a silver platter.
Strong offensive rebound, put back won't go. There's a...
There's no foul there.
But they gave it anyway, despite 0 contact. The crowd saw it crystal clear in 4K, and they let the refs hear it.
For the foul, but she immediately is saying there's no foul there.
This probably made the Sun feel invincible, because on the very next play, they took the Caitlyn abuse to a whole new level.
Bustling away.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
First, a deliberate poke in the eye, then a blatant shove in the back. It was disgraceful, but what the refs did after, even worse.
Clark has a technical, Mabrey has a technical, Charles has a technical. Wow, is Mabrey going to stay in this game? That's hard to believe.
Yes, you heard that right. Mabrey got to stay in the game and somehow ended up with the same technical as Caitlyn. And of course, she was classlessly smiling and dancing like she'd just gotten away with robbery.
If sprinting over and knocking a player to the ground in a dead ball situation doesn't get you ejected, what does it take to get ejected?
As much as I love Marina Mabrey as a player, I think that was a really poor decision by her. I do think that warrants ejection.
And the crowd agreed, and they let her hear it, raining down the booze. Caitlyn, luckily, bounced back fast from all that abuse, stepping to the line cool as ever.
So Clark is shooting.
She sat out the rest of the third, with the Fever holding their 12-point lead steady. But the moment she checked back in for the fourth, the physical play ramped right back up.
Weak hand, their left hand.
Rivers will be called for the foul on Clark.
In the fourth quarter, tied 76-76. Sabrina Ionescu leads all scorers with 31 points.
After weaving through all the body checks, she finally found her rhythm again.
Clark weaving through traffic and gets the roll.
And when Sheldon stepped back in on her, it gave her that extra motivation, and she let it out.
She never texted me during the game.
All right. Here is Clark splashing home a three from way downtown.
She was jawing at the Connecticut bench and giving the crowd exactly what they came for. If you want to be like these fans and witness greatness live, don't miss out. Grab your tickets to watch Caitlyn Clark in action on SeatGeek. Use code TheHooperShow for a nice little discount. Don't miss out. This would be Caitlyn's final action of the night, but make no mistake, the fire she sparked kept burning long after she checked out, in the form of her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who made it clear she had Caitlyn's back, going straight at Sheldon and matching their energy.
Sheldon going coast to coast. And here's we got another breakers here as Jacy Sheldon goes right after Sophie Cunningham.
A clear foul, but by then, the refs' questionable decisions were catching up with them. What should have been a clean game, clearly dominated by the Fever, was dragged down by missed calls and unchecked physicality. And when the officials finally decided to start tossing players, the damage had already been done. Luckily, Caitlyn walked away from this one without another injury, but the league has to do better. The constant hits, the no calls, the targeting, it's not just unfair, it's dangerous. Protecting stars like her isn't just about safety, it's about the future of the game. Let's hope the message gets through, and fast.